But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Florida Gators have been selected as one of 8 sleeper playoff teams by The Athletic. Liam Cohen has been named by CBS as the 7th best offensive play caller in the NFL. The Jaguars have signed veteran O-lineman Sam Mustipher. The 29-year-old center has appeared in 65 NFL games with 43 starts. Jags training camp is back tomorrow. Check out the 1010XL Jags YouTube page for exclusive training camp reactions, interviews, and more. It's 85 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Is good, I guess. Kind of getting into the flow of things, and I found myself missing it, believe it or not, early this morning at the plush Miller Electric Center. We'll see you out there on Friday. Yes, tomorrow morning, again back at it. But it almost reminds me of like day 2 in the Major League Baseball season for baseball fans. Talking to all 10 to 12 of you out there, and imagine if we do grab a lockout, we're going to lose probably half of you, which is a shame because it's a great year. I mean, the Dodgers have lost, 5 in a row? Screwball lost last night. They just got beat. They actually almost blew a 7-1 lead but hung on. Afternoon baseball at Wrigley, which I will tell you is one of the major treats as a sports fan, period. Afternoon baseball at Wrigley. Okay. Under the lights is cool. We all love stuff under the lights. I think I would actually rather go to a game at Fenway under the lights. I did so in the middle of the summer, but afternoon baseball at Wrigley is about as good as you are going to get. Anyway, that's baseball. You know, they start the year and you wait for it, and then a lot of teams don't play on day number 2, and it's like, why? You got 162 games. We know it's a getaway Thursday. A lot of teams are off on Monday because they're traveling. But for the most part, you play 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. They elect to take that second day and say to baseball fans, well, we're going to make you wait another 24 hours. That's kind of the way I'm handling it now with the Jaguars, with the understanding of the collective bargaining agreement and everything that is put into place now as far as the rules, what you can do and what you cannot do. So, people recharging batteries today. Got a lot to do on the Jaguars. That is basically what we're going to get into for most of the 2 hours. And we're just a couple of minutes away from me getting into something involved with this football team, which I do think you'll hopefully enjoy. And then, as always, give you an opportunity to offer up your opinion. You know, I just saw this piece that came down on Tony Romo and how he's owed $70 million that is still under his current contract. And I haven't shied away from this. It seems like it comes up quite a bit. And, you know, I want to do less and less on it, obviously, because the Jaguars are now underway with 6 practices under their belt. But it feels like the majority just, they want Romo out. And what he did was awful. He made a mistake. He did something that I've done before. Not proud of it. I talk all the time now about drinking, absolutely, but do not drive. And it's almost as if this is a death sentence for Tony Romo. They're talking about J.J. Watt, who's going to replace him, you know, as early as next weekend, preseason games. They're talking about maybe Greg Olsen coming over and getting that gig full time. So you just look at Tony Romo, and, you know, the bottom line is he kind of fell out of favor with you, right? I mean, he was so remarkable early on. Remember when Tony Romo joined Jim Nantz, and he would say such fantastic things as, well, Jim, 3rd and short, you got to look for the pass here. It's going to be a pass. It has to be a pass unless they decide to run. And everyone was like, my God, man, he's a, he's a, he's a czar. He's this. He sees things that others do not. And whatever the case may be, he got all this early recognition. I remember my dad, talking to him. I used to call him 3 nights a week after the show. Be like, hey, you like this, Ricky? You like this Tony Romo guy? I really do. I mean, he's so much better than Phil Simms. He tells you what he thinks they're going to run. And so anyway, it was a big splash. Then it just kind of got away. And you heard that his work ethic wasn't as strong as it should be and that the connection isn't there. It seems like he's doing a 2-man talk show and he's actually referring to Jim all the time as opposed to referring to multi-millions and millions of NFL fans across the country. So they owe him a lot of money. It's a good ticket out, right? If you can fire him for cause, then, recoup the cash and go out and go in a different direction. But look how the media is handling this. Look how the media handled Tiger Woods. I mean, within 5 minutes, we knew that he was on the phone with the president, that he had been arrested. It was automatically assumed that it was more than just alcohol, that in fact it was drugs. And then we found out that it was not alcohol at all. It was pills. Yet you look at what Aaron Rodgers did earlier in the week, and to me, this is one of the most remarkable comebacks in my way of thinking that we have ever witnessed in the history of a current player on an enormous subject. Okay. And I'm not getting into Fauci. But my point is, when you follow politics, whether you're left or right, okay, no matter who you listen to, it is a totally different story from the other side. Sports is supposed to be easier to break down, easier to describe. You can be the biggest homer or you can be the biggest contrarian, right? But when you look at something on the field or on the court or on the ice, you should be able to tell, for the most part, the same story. I love the fact that Aaron Rodgers just lamb-basted ESPN for the way that they are protecting the small amount of people that they do. See Kyle Shanahan. Just gross. And then he was heralded, he was rewarded. Oh, the way that Kyle Shanahan has handled this is, even the cops report was wrong. The cops aren't even releasing the video footage of this particular. It's a story that has been absolutely, completely buried. And it was for almost 2 weeks. And since then, what? It's just totally gone away. The Diana Rossini deal is absolutely pathetic, and it involves you. It involves Jaguars fans. Every single year, the ballots are released on how the Coach of the Year selection process works. Many have asked for the results this year. The NFL won't give it to you. They won't release it. It has to be because the ballot of Diana Rossini is an embarrassment. In bed with Mike Vrabel, she's going to pick Vrabel to be the Coach of the Year. Okay, he won Coach of the Year. That's understandable. What's not is who she voted for 2 and 3. Now, that should have been Cohen and Johnson, Jacksonville and Chicago. If you look at all the voters, and that's the combination of where things went, and of course another coach is going to sneak in here, another coach is going to sneak in there, but primarily those are your top 3. And think about what's tied into this that we're not even aware of. Incentives for these coaches if they receive the Coach of the Year. It could be worth $500,000. I have no idea. And by the way, she's got an MVP vote as well. But the feeling now is that she absolutely went against what she is supposed to be a part of, with her vote being that serious. And she avoided Ben Johnson. She avoided Liam Cohen. In the NFL, the NFL's remarkable. It's like the White House when you drop a bag of cocaine right in the middle of the White House, and the White House will look at you and say, you know what? We don't have surveillance for that. Sorry. The NFL's the exact same way. They really are. It's amazing how they can look at this story and do whatever they want with it, and then go to another story like this, which is important. And they have totally, absolutely left it behind. Why? Because they are as powerful and more powerful, frankly, than anything else in sports, period. Hopefully I'll leave this alone, and this will be my final time mentioning it. Kid Tony Farmer's done a nice job on Twitter, really handling everything that is involved with this. But I just, I don't get the Adam Schefters and the Ian Rappaports and the guy that you trust and I trust. They are the news breakers. They are in with the agents. They are in with the teams. All right. There are PR teams across the country that will give the information to these guys until, before they give it to the local press. They will certainly go the other way, and they have the connection with the agents. The agents reach them, and it's obvious why they do it. They want to, particularly in contract negotiations, they want to get to them, say this is happening, that's happening, create a little bit more interest in their player. That's how they get most of the stories, but not them all. But they're picking and choosing now. And I don't know what it is about Rossini. Why all of these important reporters and information individuals just refuse to talk about it. It's really gross, for a lack of a better term. So anyway, enough of that. And I just want to get things started with it. But I just saw here that, Tony Romo, there's a lot of people that believe he's done. He's cooked. And I have no idea what that contract looks like, right? I have no idea what the Diana Rossini contract looks like. We're still waiting for the final report from the New York Times, which just baffles me. Why would the New York Times waste their time doing and going through an exhaustive investigation on Diana Rossini if she no longer works for them? Is it because she really didn't resign? It's because she was fired, and that they're scared that she's going to lawyer up, turn around and sue the New York Times. And this way, going through an investigation, they can protect themselves. I can't think of any other reason why you do it. She's no longer an employee. All right. The deal here with Tony Romo, again, I have no idea what that contract is all about. But if there's cause there, okay, and you can save $70 million. And again, I'm always one of those. I was actually going to go through it today. Fox announced their broadcast teams this year. ESPN's made significant changes in their college football broadcasts this year. I guess I'm wrong, but I'm one of those who always thought you're going to watch the game because you want to watch the game. You watch the game because one of three things, right? Number one, it's your team. Number two, you're a gambler. Number three, it's the only event on. I've always had a difficult time believing that a broadcaster, a play-by-play man, a color analyst, a sideline reporter, a referee in the booth, a pregame, halftime, and post-game host or analyst is going to affect eyeballs. And I guess I'm wrong. I really am. Okay. I mean, you're trying to tell me that if you put Jim Nantz and Tony Romo to call a Super Bowl, and then it's Jim Nantz and J.J. Watt, that there's going to be that much of a difference as far as people who are watching the game because of those who call. And I understand local radio and all that, where, around here, historically speaking, particularly in college football, those names that were just the Larry Munsons and the Gene Decker. I mean, those names were legendary. That's one thing, okay? All right, but I'm talking about nationally televised football games and studio shows. I've just have never been able to really believe that someone coming and someone going is really going to dramatically affect the numbers. But apparently they do. I'm way out of bounds with this. And I find it surprising. All right, on the other side, let's look at camp battles. I broke them down last night, didn't get to it. I went through it again today. It's spirited. It's a lot of fun to observe so far. But I think things are starting to shake themselves out just a little bit for the Jaguars. So when we come back, we're going to get immediately to that. I will tell you that Shmunez Vision, they kick off the program. It's always good to hear from them. 3 generations at Shmunez Vision, a true mom and pop place right here in town. And isn't that important? Don't you want to rep those who are all about Duval, born here, raised here? Again, locally owned, operated, and that's the way they do roll. And no matter where you go, I see it on Phillips Highway all the time. I feel like every time I drive up and down there, back and forth there, there's another business that is gone up. And a lot of local places are selling out. National companies are coming in and they're snatching everything up. And that's fine. That's the way the world works. But what is it doing for you? How are they helping the great people of Duval? You don't have to have that concern when it comes to Shmunez Vision. So check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision, get all the testimonials as well. over there at Instagram with Shmunez Vision as well. 37 plus years when it comes to surgery. Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. Camp battles for the Jaguars. It takes center stage next on Into the Night.
Gotta get to the station. On a scale from 1 to 10.
10.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, XL.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. If you're going to buy an engagement ring, how much should you spend?
Frank, that's a question we hear a lot, and the guideline most often used is the equivalent of 2 months' salary. But I'll say this, the price you pay for a diamond is directly related to its beauty. If you want a big, cheap diamond, I'll guarantee you it's poor quality, and that's not what we carry at Underwoods. If you want a diamond of fine quality, cut to the right specifications for maximum beauty, not maximum weight, that's the kind of diamond we have at Underwoods. You see, when somebody's been married for a long time, they don't always remember what they paid for their engagement ring. They probably remember the sacrifice they made to pay for it. And when you consider that a diamond engagement ring will be worn every day for the rest of her life, most people will agree that a really fine quality diamond ought to be considered. That's what we specialize in at Underwoods and have since 1928.
That's Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
I'm Matt Lennon with AB Signs. Your truck, trailer, or storefront should be your best salesperson. So I create custom signs and graphics that get your business noticed. Local, fast, and built to last. Call AB Signs and make your brand stand out.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
25 weeks comes down to this. 3 wide under the lights. 0 margin for error. Everything on the line. Flirting with 200 miles per hour in the place where this journey began. Race 26, the final hunt for a spot in the chase. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona, August 28th through 29th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Make your outdoor living space one you're proud of with Sutherland Lawn and Landscape. From landscape design and outdoor living spaces to turf, lighting, irrigation, pavers, and complete residential and commercial maintenance, Sutherland brings your vision to life with quality craftsmanship and a team you can trust. Sutherland Lawn and Landscape, transforming outdoor spaces, elevating everyday living. Visit SUTHERLIN lawn.com
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about enjoying your life. So often we can go through life trying to make a living instead of making a life. Yes, it's good to be goal-oriented, but let me encourage you today that our days are numbered. We're not promised tomorrow, so go out and take time to be with your family. You'll always have your work, but you won't always have your family.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We'll air dirty laundry here on Into the Night. We won't avoid it. 0981 says Ballou, for crying out loud. Actually, this is one of our bets. One thing you haven't mentioned, Rossini is a large coach of the year bets. People place large amounts of money on these. No doubt. Adam Schefter also owns, part owner with Bob Kraft, with a gambling company. People just don't care. You just came from Las Vegas. Tom Brady owns the minority owner of the Raiders. No one cares. If he was a minority owner of the Patriots, can you imagine the outcry with the same people who are silent now, how loud they would be if he owned in New England, or let's say he owned with Jerry in Dallas or a New York team?
Oh, they'd lose their minds. They'd absolutely lose their minds. Right now, it's just genuinely the only story about it in Vegas is the fact that it's like, are you helping out with the quarterbacks? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
But again, you're literally the owner of a team, and you could announce something at we have in play now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're the owner of the team, and if you're calling a game, you may like accidentally let something slip that could completely like blow something out of the water.
It's only going to change if the Raiders become relevant and become a perennial playoff team. And right now, they're bottom feeders in a difficult division. Here's the one I'm looking for, 7370. Hey, Rick, do you have some sort of infatuation with Diana Rossini? You can't go one show, it seems, without talking about her. I disagree with that. I don't think I mentioned her once last week. But anyway, let's continue on. We, the listener, don't care about her in her story one bit. It's your professional field, and you relate to it, but we don't care. Okay. Obviously, a lot of people don't care, including ESPN and all the other bigwigs. But we're pointing out why it should care. It affects cash, incentives for coaches, players. It also could be a direct effect to those going to the betting window. She has inside information, not to mention the fact that she slept her way to the top. And she hurt women in her field. Hardworking young women trying to get themselves known, heard, seen in the business. She totally brought back a stereotype that had taken decades to get rid of. I'm old enough to remember the Bonnie Bernsteins walking into the Jaguars locker room and seeing the Jaguars players stop in mid-sentence to be like, is that Bonnie Bernstein? I lived it. I saw it. And that had been taken away. That had been eliminated until the Diana Rossini situation. Training camp. Underway again tomorrow. All right. I listed stuff in order of importance. And oh, by the way, tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at the Alexander Law Practice. I'm going to get there momentarily. I have 5 key positional battles on this football team. And after only 6 practices, I believe 3 of them are now completely set. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to go in my opinion, in importance of this football team as far as the position. I'm beginning with left tackle. The conversation should be over. It's Anton Harrison. He's had 4 straight practices at left tackle. All right, he got a little nicked up yesterday. And he got blown away by Gardeck on a one-on-one drill, which was the exact opposite of Monday, where he was the only offensive lineman who appeared to show up. He went 4 for 4. All right, he took on Hines Allen. He took on Strigow. I'm trying to think who else he took on. He was dominant. You hope he stays healthy. This should be over. He is your left tackle. Walker Little is not cut out for it at this level. Cole Van Lannon, we saw him again yesterday. The rehabilitation continues. And I think he's going to be your starting right tackle against the Cleveland Browns on September 13th. Number 2, right guard. Okay? even though he's not practicing, and even though Wyatt Milam is the future, and that future could be a heck of a lot sooner than later, this is all setting up for Patrick McCarry. Okay? And you have to consider everything that's going into this. Number one, he's a high-priced free agent. One of the biggest splashes that this new brass made. They're going to give him every opportunity to win that job because their reputation somewhat hangs in the balance. It didn't work with Diami Brown. It better work with Patrick McCarry. They overspent. They knew the move. You can go back and watch his career in Baltimore. You can look at his snap count in Baltimore. He had more at left tackle, left guard, center, and right tackle than he did what? Right guard. This team put him at right guard. He struggled. He was also hurt. He was hurt. Still has either a bad back or they're just not working him. And Liam Cohen talked about it a few days ago, says he has all the confidence in the world. He's a pro. I'm paraphrasing. I honestly think that if you had a game this Sunday, your best right guard, are you ready for this? Grab the steering wheel with both hands. I think it's Walker Little. I think Walker Little's a much better right guard than he is a left tackle or right tackle. Wyatt Milam's the future. Milam got blown away on Monday. I mean, he just got torched in one-on-ones. He had a better effort yesterday. And I've noticed a serious body change for the better in Wyatt Milam in 1 year. He's the future. I have a feeling you're going to see him at right guard this year, but I'm talking about on opening day against Cleveland. So let's get to position number 2, and let's set that in stone. Right guard, Patrick McCarry. Number 3, Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs. Here's the way I look at it. Miller has far more experience, and I think Miller's better against the run. He's been all over the place in camp. It's almost as if he knows where the ball carrier is going. No one has ever questioned his football intelligence or his effort, and on top of that, it's a contract year. You know he's going to do everything in the world to try to show out here. Branson Combs is the biggest surprise of camp. This man is incredibly athletic, much more than I saw a year ago. Maybe I just didn't keep my Schmunez eyes on him a year ago because he's making play after play after play. And he broke up a ball at goal line yesterday, a pass intended for DJ Dallas. And then he turned around and he ran 25 to 30 yards with Parker Washington to break up a pass. So right now, my guess is Miller's better against the run. Combs better against the pass. As great as Devin Lloyd was, 3rd down, 4th down, he only played 54% of the snaps. It's according to Ryan O'Halloran, and we talked about it over the summer. Think about that for a moment. As great as Devin Lloyd was when it was the money downs, 3rd down and 4th down, Devin Lloyd was as important to this football team as I was in the press box and you were in the stands. Let that settle in. I think it's going to be interesting as far as a combination. I think if you polled most of the media right now, they'd say Branson Combs. I'm going to go the other way. I say Ventrell Miller wins that job. Jordan Lewis, Jarian Jones. It's going to be tough to keep these two off the field. It really is. It felt like when the Jaguars went to dime, it was more of a 3-safety defense a year ago, not necessarily 4 cornerbacks. Jarian Jones has been so good in camp. He just makes play after play after play after play after play. Jordan Lewis spoke volumes about him the other day. Liam Cohen, his communication skills, his leadership skills, fact that he gets everyone lined up in that secondary. I think Lewis wins the job, but it's going to be fun to monitor. All right, when they take Hunter out, I think it's Lewis who goes to the corner, and it's Jones who goes to the slot. Can you take a few more plays away from Hunter and put him on the offensive side. We know that's very fluid, and that's going to change game to game. That's going to change quarter to quarter. Heck, it could change possession to possession based upon how the team is performing. That's a heck of a battle. I say they go with the veteran, Jordan Lewis. All right, finally, number 5. This one to me isn't nearly as important. That is your starting running back. Because I think this football team is going to go with the hot hand. And that's wise. There are times where you can just tell. This back has it, this back doesn't. And typically it's vision. Typically it's just the, ability to make others miss. I've said all along, I think it's going to be a better rushing football team than it was a year ago. I think Chris Rodriguez Jr. has proven in a very short sample size that his ability to pick up yards after contact is exactly what this football team has been lacking. Tootin is your number one option. He's your day one starter. Outside of Parker Washington, he's been the best offensive player so far. It's very encouraging to see that Chris Rodriguez is back and has been participating now in team drills, including taking handoffs on, today's Wednesday, I guess on Monday. All right? Now, I'm not saying this is a hockey shift deal where it's going to be even. One guy's going to get more than the other. Okay? And frankly, I happen to be one of those who believes you're going to get a much better indication of Bayshell Tootin if he gets 13, 14, 15, 16 carries a game as opposed to getting 4, 5, or 6 carries a game. I think this is the guy who's got to get lathered up. I think this is a guy who's got to get into a healthy rotation, in my opinion. So there you go. Those are my breakdowns of the 5 that are going on right now in camp. You can respond. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight, 1010XL Into the Night.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Jeremy.
I've been a RockAuto.com customer for over 15 years, and now even my kids order their parts there. Prices are always far lower than the local auto parts store. Selection is massive, and the site makes it unbelievably easy to find exactly what we need. Every order shows up fast, and the quality is always top tier. RockAuto.com has earned my trust for life, and I highly recommend them.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
When it comes to your home or business, experience matters. That's why every apprentice at Local 234, whether training in plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, or HVAC, must pass a rigorous county licensing exam before graduating. It's just one more way Local 234 ensures the next generation of skilled professionals is ready for the job. Before you hire anyone, ask if the work will be performed by a licensed journeyman. Local 234, make the right connection.
When you're injured, you need more than legal advice. You need someone who truly cares. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, I take pride in what we do. You're never just another case. We take the time to listen, guide you through the process, and fight for your recovery every step of the way. And remember, you pay nothing unless we win. Zip, nada, nothing. Learn more at CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campione Law.
Chicken here, you know it's back to school time, baby, with Zero Res. And right now, book 2 rooms of carpet cleaning for $149 and get 2 rooms free. Yeah, book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of the savings. Tell them 1010XL sent you.
The Golf Club at Southampton is super excited for what's next, and that's brand new greens and plenty more to add to your golfing experience. While renovations are underway, you can still come out, hit the practice area, and keep your game sharp. Plus Thursday night trivia, always fun, and music on Friday nights on the patio. Check it all out at golfsouthampton.com or their Facebook page. Membership opportunity right now where you can take advantage of a great deal before the renovation is complete. Call 287-PLAY and check out the latest from the Golf Club at Southampton.
Birthdays, anniversaries, and graduations happen year-round. That's why it's good to have Kuhn Flowers on hand to send that floral arrangement with a simple click. Call or showroom visit. Make Kuhn Flowers your go-to when you need to send your love.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trust Line Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Ken Rimley want to thank all the top real estate agents and builders who refer us business every day. Thinking about buying or building a new home? At Trust Line Mortgage, we're here to make the mortgage process simple, clear, and stress-free. That's why First Coast residents have trusted us for more than 37 years. Since 1989, Trust Line Mortgage has been your local mortgage company dedicated to personal service. Real people, real conversations, and real solutions. Whether you're looking for a conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loan, Trustline Mortgage brings over 4 decades of experience to help you. And did I mention we offer the most competitive jumbo rates in Florida? If you're ready to buy, build, refinance, or simply explore your options, call Trustline Mortgage today at 904-381-LOAN or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS 246445.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Off day for the Jags, back at it in the morning. And then they'll have at it with a scrimmage, indoor game-like situation on Friday, practice Saturday and Sunday as well. So 4 straight days coming up. Let me see. I already forgot. Gosh, Ballou. I don't know. This is what happens when you do shows sober. Jarian Jones tomorrow. Wyatt Milam on a Friday. You got to grit your teeth when you talk about Milam. Yeah, I'm going to make 2 significant changes, Jared. This camp, things that I've never done before. Number 1, I'm going to give you my 53 a couple of times before cut day on August 30th. And number 2, I'm going to ask the great listeners of Jacksonville to help me or us. There is no me, only us. All right. Help us diagram where the Super Bowl parade should be right here in Duval. Because there's a ton of construction on Bay Street and all that stuff. I mean, that would seem like, and where's the meeting? Where do we meet? I'm thinking Ginger's. I'm thinking Arnold's. I don't know. But we're going to put together where the parade should actually go. Point A all the way to, let's say, let's go with point P. Yeah, all those stops, because I won't mention the P words on this show. I'll never tell you to be patient. If so, find me. I'll never mention it. I'll also never mention the P word, potential, because potential means there's a shot, but you haven't gotten there yet. You watch a game because of a broadcaster.
Only once. Only once have I thought a broadcaster actually made the game better, and it was John Gruden during boring football games would just kind of act a fool.
Really?
He would.
Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
Did he do Monday Night?
Yeah, when he was on Monday Night Football. And the best part of it is they would just start cutting away from the game to the booth because Mike Tirico would just be staring at the side of John Gruden's face while John Gruden was just doing goofy things. Like, you know what? I want a smoothie. Somebody give me a blender.
Yeah.
just completely doesn't care about the football anymore because he wants to watch good football.
Right.
And so if the football's bad, he's like, I don't want to watch bad football. Somebody give me a blender and some bananas.
Yeah, even some really bad moves. I don't know how much of an effect it had ratings-wise when they brought in, Dennis Miller and Tony Kornheiser, and they brought in Rush Limbaugh. Remember Limbaugh made the comment right next to Tom Jackson about white quarterbacks and black quarterbacks, and at the time, period, how much of a scud that comment really was. I mean, it just shook up the NFL. And, that was the first time that it kind of went the other way. You hear all the time, hey, don't talk politics, and I don't. But that was to a politician. Hey, don't talk about quarterbacks. Don't talk about sports. You don't know what you're getting into. All right, real quick, before I get to some stuff here, and John Osher coming up at the top of the hour. Does this have any effect on you as a listener? Fox announced their teams, NFL. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi on the sideline. Number 2, Joe Davis, Greg Olson. A lot of people believe that's a better combination with Pam Oliver on the sideline. Adam Admin, Drew Brees, and Christina Pink. That is team number 3, Pink on the sideline. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma. I'm not even sure I know this lady, Megan Levi. I've never heard of her before. Okay. Number 5, Kevin Kugler, Moose Johnston, Allison Williams. Number 6, Chris Myers, Mark Schlereth, Jen Hale. You get way too much Schlereth. And you fans should be on him for picking on Jacksonville, for saying what? Picking on the marketing people of Jacksonville. Those folks work hard. Those folks are trying to sell tickets right now at the stadium. And Schwartz comes out and says the Dallas Cowboys are the Jacksonville Jaguars with a better marketing team. Stink. And rules analysts, Mike Pereira and Dean Blandino. So there you go. I'm interested in that stuff. Now, if it was Brent Musburger calling the game, Keith Jackson calling the game, I mean, there are certain guys that, there were certain legendary voices that I absolutely wanted to hear and would have on with volume. But for the most part, if it's a game I'm interested in, a broadcaster, that there is absolutely zero effect, in my opinion, on whether or not to watch a game. I don't have to make up a break here because I went a little bit too long, or are we on schedule? What's going on here? Do I need to take one more? All right, let's do that right now. I will remind you that John Osher's coming up at 7 o'clock. We'll get his thoughts on, 6 practices now in, 2 in pads. For the most part, everything has been encouraging. They're a healthy team. I think they're a stronger football team. Very noticeable weight gain with a lot of players. And I think they're faster, certainly on defense, with Caleb Ransaw and now Travis Hunter getting more and more reps on that side. Okay. And, sometimes there's fast and there's football fast. As great as Devin Lloyd was a year ago, think about him his first 3 years. And because he was thinking too much, or perhaps not thinking at all, his instincts were slowed down. And he wasn't getting to the point of attack as quickly as he should have. And it was really alarming. Okay? You're not seeing that so far with Branson Combs and Ventrell Miller. They seem to be totally locked in. And I'm not trying to dismiss what Lloyd did a year ago. Okay? He was spectacular. He really was. What a great season for him. But again, it was 1 out of 4. He was lost his first 3 seasons here. And don't forget this as we head to the break and talk about Miller and Combs. I just went through 5 positional competitions, in my opinion. Without any doubt, what was the biggest camp competition last year? It was Devin Lloyd and Ventrell Miller.
A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
After attending a Saturday Bumps and Bruises clinic by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly, and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest baseball betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it. It's the 10-cent summer sale. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. Same bets, better odds. This August, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Valid for money line, spread and over, under pregame markets with odds between -250 and +250 only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for 2, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
Replacing windows can be a big investment, and you deserve straight answers. Well, at Cash Building Material, I got them. Prosser here. Cash Building Material explained my options, answered my questions, and helped me find windows that fit my home and my budget. No pressure, just honest advice. And they'll do the same for you. So before you buy windows or doors, get a cash quote. Search Cash Building Material and click on their replacements tab. Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
My name is Chris, and I'm a client of DexaFit Jacksonville. A scale only tells you your weight, but a DEXA scan shows you what's really happening inside your body. In just 5 minutes, I learned my body fat percentage, muscle mass, bone density, and visceral fat levels. Tracking those numbers helped me see real progress and stay motivated. Kelly and the entire team at DexaFit Jacksonville are knowledgeable, professional, and a great resource. Search DexaFit Jacksonville and schedule your scan today.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the Jags make a transaction earlier today. They bring in Sam Mustipher. Played at Notre Dame with Robert Hainsey. He's 29 years of age, 7 years in the league. Bears, Chargers, Broncos, and Ravens. 65 games, 43 starts. 40 of his first 43 games were starts. and helped the Bears have the best running offense in 2022. So here's a guy who can play multiple offensive line positions. And it gets me to this question. Ballou, do you see any surprise cuts happening? You know, I don't know if it'd be a surprise, but the roster is becoming more difficult to make. It's like, and we forecasted this correctly a year ago. And I certainly had it right. I think most of the media had it right. That is that even though they had been here for a long period of time, that Chad Moomin wasn't going to make the team and Daniel Thomas wasn't going to make the team. As great as Daniel Thomas was as a special teamer, he was as well not a good safety. He wasn't going to help you there. Yeah, I look this year, Chuma Edoga is the 10th offensive lineman, in my opinion. I think there's a guy who was on the roster a year ago that is going to be cut. I think many believe it's a battle at tight end for that fourth job, between Quentin Morris. I think Quentin Morris does make the team. Okay? Some believe that is not going to be the case. I think he really came on late. I think he's absolutely, as a matter of fact, he may be even the number 2 blocker in the 12 personnel over Borkircher in certain situations. If they go to a 13 personnel, I would think those are the 3 tight ends, not Tanner Koziel. So Hunter Long, I saw more 53-man projections today. Okay, and I saw a couple of times people said Amir Abdullah is the 4th option. Now, that's understandable if you take into consideration what he can bring to this football team as a kick returner. And Bashal Tutin is going to be your primary ball carrier, so you don't want him returning kicks. Right? You got Clint Allen Jr. you can put back there, then maybe it's a Josh Cameron. I still think it's going to be difficult for Abdullah to make this team. I also don't think there's going to be a lot of interest in him, around the league. So you can stack him on the practice squad and maybe bring him up with those rules that are still in effect. For what it's worth, I think Jamari Taylor does make it as an undrafted free agent. I'm going to say they start the year with 4 running backs. All right. The big surprise would be Nick Mullins. And he hasn't had a great camp. And a lot of that is because the defense is playing really, really well. And we talk an awful lot about how Jacksonville and the offensive line remain somewhat in flux. Well, up until yesterday when they did the Mamba, which is 1 against 1s, that was actually on Sunday, excuse me. It's 1s against 2s and 2s against 1s. So you've got Mullins with the second string offensive line going up against what? The Jaguars' first team defense. And they've been creating havoc. And obviously they've been forcing a lot of takeaways. Again, it's a very good takeaway football team. They went from 9 to 31 in just one season, which is just absolutely out of this world. I mean, 9 turnovers they forced in 2024, and then they forced 31 last year. So I still think he's the guy they like most. He's comfortable with his role. Trevor's comfortable with him. He understands this offense. I mean, frankly, they're screwed if you go to a backup, whether it's him, Carter Braggley, or Joey Aguilar. It's just, it's not a good situation. Defensively, yeah, I think some guys who've been around here for quite some time are going to be showing the door. I don't see Yasir Abdullah making the team. Okay? I think he's going to be someone who's let go. I think that it's tough for Matt Dickerson to make this team. I can't see that happening. And there's going to have to be at least one other transaction when it comes to another linebacker, albeit Jalen McLeod or Parker Hughes, and one other corner, which could involve, the injured right now, Christian Braswell. I think those are really the guys that could end up being cut when it's all said and done. To me, I went through the 53. I'm not going to reveal it yet. Maybe I will later this week or early next week. But it wasn't as hard for me to come up with this 53-man roster as I thought it would. Went through it relatively easy. The other option is trades. I know it was a big deal today. They said move Walker Little. It was like Little and a 7th-round pick for a 6th-round pick. I'm like, you don't need to be in any hurry to make that move. Because if something happens, Walker Little still has a tremendous amount of experience. And you're going to have to eat a lot of dead cap money. A lot of dead money, right? So at this point, I'd hold on to him. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, when you get close to the trade deadline, maybe something gets put in order. But in camp, I would not make that particular move. John Osher is a couple minutes away. Senior writer, Jaguars.com. He joins us at 7. Then your questions to follow.
When the clock hits high noon, Jacksonville clocks in with XL Primetime. Coward, Hayes, Searcy, heating up your lunch hour like a plate of tasty wings. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Prosser here. You want to know 3 words you can live by? Job well done. Want to know 3 more? Custom tree surgeons. Those 2 go hand in hand. When summer storms come crashing through or hurricane winds start to blow, Custom Tree Surgeons is always on standby, doing it better than everyone else. No job too big or too small, and always job well done. With Custom Tree Surgeons, call Custom Tree Surgeons or visit them at CustomTreeSurgeons.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
He's our big hitter.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus.
He tackles Jags talk from a middle linebacker's point of view. Fridays on 1010XL. Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It all comes down to Daytona. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns at the Cup Series regular season finale August 28th and 29th. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the 2026 NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Who was in the pole position for last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win tickets to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series August 28th.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You know that little voice in your head that says, I really should do something about that septic system? If your yard's getting soggy, things aren't draining like they used to, or you've caught a smell that definitely wasn't there before, don't wait until it becomes an emergency. This month, save $500 on a new septic system installation from Duck Duck Rooter. As the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, Duck Duck Rooter will handle the whole job from permits to final inspection, and you know the work is done right. So when you're stuck, call Duck Duck Rooter, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com. Financing is available.
There's no better time than now to buy your football season parking pass from Tailgaters. Complete with on-site restaurant, indoor restrooms, and all-day security. Tailgaters parking selling out. Log on to tailgatorsparking.com today.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Greg from 1010XL, and I want to share some cold, hard truth with our listeners. I've been around 250 pounds for the last 15, 20 years, but this year, I finally found a strategy that works for me. This week, my scale says 200. That's 50 pounds gone forever in just 3 months with Awaken 180. Not shooting chemicals in my body every week. I'm eating real food every single day. And obviously, I'm not some celebrity telling you about a magic new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food to lose weight. It's that simple. So whatever your goal weight is, Awaken 180 will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path without disappointment. I'm down 50. Matt dropped 40 pounds in 2 months. Hackers lost over $100 100, and Frank's daughter is down over 150 pounds in less than a year. Awaken 180 changed our lives, and I promise it'll change yours too. Give him a call at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, the Jaguars were off on this Wednesday after 6 practices. They're back at it in the morning, and it will continue Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's bring in John Osher, our guest, each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, senior writer at Jaguars.com. What do you say, Big John?
Yeah, I'd say this is, I guess, really the last sort of stretch before you start getting into a game-type routine, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, camp goes quick these days.
It's tough to believe there's a game tomorrow night with, Mandarin High's Carson Beck going for Arizona against Carolina.
Yeah, it's J.P. Shadrick versus the Panthers, right?
He brought Dewey. He brought Dewey with him.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, I think Dewey said, "I'm not coming without J.P."
Yeah, no doubt. And I guess JP around tomorrow and Friday before he makes the trip out there. Had an opportunity. I know you've talked to him. I congratulated him as well yesterday. Great story there for JP Shadrick. Okay, the offense did not look good yesterday. They looked really good in the offseason. I thought they were absolutely above average in the first 5 practices. What do you make about what happened one day ago?
It's practice. I mean, it's training camp practice. I don't think you necessarily want one side of the ball always dominating the other. I don't put much on one practice because some of that is you're not sure what they're trying to get done on a certain day. You're not sure are they trying to give Trevor some looks that he hasn't seen already. You don't want them always to be perfect because then you figure they're not really trying anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're just doing the easy stuff. So I guess I keep thinking back to last year, Rick, when this time there was one awful practice. If you remember, inside the stadium, we were all sort of sitting up in the bleachers, and the offense was just abysmal. Everybody wrote it, and everybody said, "What's going on?" One training camp practice, I think I've seen this offense last year in the last 8 games of the season look great. If I sat here and told you I was worried about the offense after one training camp practice, I'd feel sillier. I'd feel sillier than I usually do.
I think it was right around free agency, maybe a little bit closer to the draft last year when you and I had a conversation. I asked you can make the case that 3 guys could be your left tackle, with Van Lanen getting healthy, Little, and then would Harrison go right side to left side. Well, we went through that so many times, and then it felt like it had been dismissed, both by Anton Harrison and even Liam Cohen. Now, all of a sudden, we see 4 straight practices with Harrison on the left side. Liam Cohen did not shy away from it a couple of days ago when he was asked. What do you believe? Is this now set in stone, him at left tackle?
I wouldn't say stone, but the cement is hardening a lot more than I thought it was going to be a week ago. So it certainly feels like early in camp they kind of said, hey, with Cole out, let's look at this. Let's look and see how you feel there, Anton. I think he had sort of was fine with playing right. And maybe there was some, hey, let's not really let this change, meaning let's not mess with what's going well. With Van Lanen out, try him over there a little bit. Clearly it feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He looks really good. So I think at this point I would be a little surprised if they go back to it Because if you believe he's your most talented, best offensive line, which I think most people would believe, and your theory before was not to upset the apple cart, well, now you've sort of upset it and he looks fine, so why not leave him there? I'd be surprised if it's not permanent, or at least something close to permanent, because at this point, the match feels right. But I'm sort of guessing there, but it feels logical to leave him over there at this point since it's already looked good. And Cole Van Lannon has experience over on the right side.
Sure.
So I don't think you're really messing anything up by putting Anton over there. That feels right to me.
Arguably the second most important position on the football field. Absolutely the second most important position on offense is left tackle. So, put your best player there. And he's got a ton of experience at Oklahoma. Again, he's played there, but not as a starter with the Jaguars. John Osher, our guest, senior writer at Jaguars.com. Let's get on the defense a little bit. Great battle going on between Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs. Keep hearing about Combs, heard about him during the offseason. It's kind of like, yeah. But, man, he's really made a believer out of me the last few practices, particularly with what he's able to do in pass coverage.
Well, that's his superpower. If an undrafted free agent has a superpower, but that's certainly what he's good at. I think you're going to see a situation where when they feel like it's a run-heavy team, run-heavy look, playing the run, Ventrell Miller's the guy. Branson Combs, I think, will be the guy in whatever packages they're playing that they feel like are defending the pass. Look, he's a really good cover linebacker. He played his way onto the team doing that last year. The reason they wanted him around was because of that. They feel like he's a strength there. So I'd be surprised. Starter is so hard to even say anymore in the NFL because everything's situational.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Ventrell Miller is their starting run outside linebacker, and Branson Combs is going to be their starting pass outside linebacker. You can't always guarantee what the other team's going to do, but situationally, I'd be stunned if Branson Combs isn't a huge part of what they're doing defensively. I think these days you have 15 or 16 starters on both sides of the ball. They consider Branson Combs a starter in that sense. It's not 11 guys anymore. It's all situations.
We've talked about this number before. On third and fourth down, Devin Lloyd only played 54% of the snaps, where a year ago, Foye Oluokun did not come off the field. And we maybe look at a situation where, I'm not saying for an entire series, but here and there, it's Foye who comes out. And your two linebackers are Combs and Miller.
Yeah, perhaps. I know Foye is so good mentally and getting guys lined up, making sure guys are in the right spot. I hear you. And with where he is in his career, deep into his career, and you want to make sure he lasts physically, I could see that being a situation where they want to do it during the week, and then all of a sudden in the game, you can't figure out a time that you want Foye off the field because he's so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ideally want to do it, but having Foye there, having his mind on the field is really important. But I hear you in terms of, I think that's what they'd like to do, because from a skill set standpoint, that all makes sense.
John, let's wrap it up with the defensive line, and let's get to a few guys that, don't get as much attention as certainly the starters, but it really appears that B.J. Green has the opportunity here to be the third edge along with Danny Strigow. The rookie Wesley Williams, it first happened at the East-West Shrine Bowl where, the kid out of Duke got some snaps on the interior defensive line. Now, he's got a body frame where he can add weight, but he's worked there a little bit so far. Is this a guy that could be, a so-called hybrid that in pass rush situation, or whatever it may be, where maybe he's an inside guy, although most didn't think that a few months ago when the draft happened?
Yeah, they're so heavy. This is this scheme stays true to try to be versatile more than any scheme I've ever covered. So they want guys who can move around. BJ Green's the guy they feel like can do that as well. It would be hard for me to say that they think Wesley Williams is going to do that on a level where it impacts as a rookie. That's a hard thing for rookies to come in and do immediately. But are they training him to do that? Are they seeing that as something that he does for the long term in a scheme like this? I think absolutely they want that. I think you're going to see Trayvon Walker do that a lot this year because he's very effective inside. But as soon as I say that, they need interior presence. And if Wesley Williams shows he can do it effectively, will they let him do it as a rookie? Absolutely. You and I have talked football enough to know, Rick, I never think a rookie that's not drafted in the first round is going to come in and be a high-impact guy. So I'm not going to put him out there, but I know they would like more of that, and maybe he's the guy who can do it.
Yeah. Been interesting. All of these rookies, really. I mean, each one is at times has really shown, including certainly both rookie wide receivers. No question.
Yeah, the receivers are a big story. That looks, Rick, that receiver position, those two draft picks, looks like for the first time in a long time, all of a sudden you've got Parker Washington and these two rookies drafted late. Finally, around here, you've got some late drafted receivers who might stick and really matter. Mm-hmm. That's big because in the NFL these days, you got to be able to do that at that position. So they're doing it.
Absolutely. He's John Osher. Get everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. John, I'll see you in the morning.
Look forward to it, Rick.
There he goes. John Osher, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's always very important. And if you can get late round selections to make your team because of, the salary cap scenarios, you're going to have top-heavy guys. You're going to have those on your roster that are making a tremendous amount of money, right? And, the salary cap now is what? I think it's $301.2 million is the exact figure right now for the salary cap. And, Trevor's contract now kicks in, okay? I mean, you're talking, his cap number is only $24 million, okay? Hines Allen, $23.4. Armstead, $19,385. Hey, he looked nasty on Monday. Don't dismiss Eric Armstead's 5.5 sacks before the injury. All right? He was a good football player before the injury. He totally went wayside after he got nicked up. All right? And he's not getting any younger. I look at some of these high-priced guys that I think are not going to be here next year. Eric Armstead, Foye Oluokun, Walker Little, Devon Hamilton, Ezra Cleveland. You can really make the case after Lawrence and Hines Allen, the next 5 guys, as far as top salaries, are not going to be here in a year. Again, Armstead, Oluokun, Little, Hamilton, and Cleveland. To me, on that list, the guy that I think they'll try to bring back is Devon Hamilton, but he only played 44% of the snaps this past season. I mean, the defensive line is absolutely one filled with rotation. So, but if you can get young guys in and make them a big part of your, salary cap structure, where all of a sudden you look at last year, and it's Tootin, and it's Allen Jr., and it's Ransaw, and it's Milam, and it's Ray Lane. Then all of a sudden all the rookies this year, that's what works in this league. That's why, free agency, and the Rams kind of ruined this a few years ago. You can even make the case that Seattle ruined that this past year with Sam Darnold. The thought has always been in the NFL, you win through the draft. And to me, the biggest problem you can have as a franchise is that you are so successful that you cannot financially afford to re-sign your own draft picks. That is a mark of a great team. And look at what happened with Devin Lloyd. And look at what happened with Travis Etienne. Even though I think they're going to be better despite losing those two. All right, let's grab your questions. I am fired up to hear from you. Are you kidding me? And I'm feeling on this off day, I'm feeling a lot of energy on this Wednesday night. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's weather related. I don't know if it's stock market related. I don't know if it's Bitcoin related. Or I don't know if you're just having a hell of a time, perhaps, getting out of a happy hour. I will tell you, $1 oysters right now, up until 9 o'clock. Blue collar. No. How about blue crab? Okay, where they love the blue-collar workers. They do. The Blue Crab Crab House. It is located right off of San Jose, Julington Creek Road.
Because sports is what we do.
That feels like an oversimplification.
1010XL.
Neck pain, back pain, headache, Shinatri Chiropractic. Westside, 103rd, River City Marketplace, Riverside, Arlington, and the beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Ken Rimley want to thank all of our clients, CPAs, attorneys, bankers, and real estate agents who refer us business every day. If you're ready to purchase, build, or refinance your home, call Trustline Mortgage, your hometown mortgage source since 1989. Call us today at 904-381-LOAN, TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS 246445.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
It feels like every home services company in Jacksonville has been bought out by some big out-of-town firm, but not Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. We're still locally owned, still right here in Northeast Florida. That means no call centers and no corporate runaround when you call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Just experienced pros who live here, work here, and stand behind every job. From simple leaks to full pipe relining, you're getting real solutions from a team that actually cares about the community we all live and work in. Make the superior choice when you need a plumber. Request an estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
ET here for Encore Research. And this summer, discover the power of research. Clinical studies are helping researchers find better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. And community members like you make it all possible. Your participation could help drive the next generation of healthcare discoveries. Find out how you can make a difference at EncoreDocs.com. Research moves forward because of volunteers like you. Let's build a healthier Jacksonville together.
It's back to school season. Get a brand new fence from Superior Fence and Rail. For a limited time, get free takedown and haul away of your old fence. A $500 value with your new fence purchase. Offer valid on residential projects of 100 plus linear feet. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com. SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Summertime is here, and that means it's grilling season. Now, before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street in Jacksonville. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at the grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Follow Houston's Meats on social for updated weekly specials.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. ET here, and your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. And rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. And it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights, and wall-to-wall TVs everywhere. I mean, it's Twin Peaks. Where else you gonna find a scratch kitchen that's always coming through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late at night? Only at Twin Peaks, your #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Picken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Ballou Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Stephon Diggs goes to D.C. Over 1,000 yards a year ago with the New England Patriots. 85 grabs, 1,013 yards, had 4 touchdowns. The big story, though, around the league. How about Aaron Donald in L.A. gear working out for the Rams? Can you imagine that defensive line now that they have added Myles Garrett? They lost Jared Verse, but you have arguably the best player in pro football, certainly the best defensive player in Myles Garrett. And then you bring back Aaron Donald, who was just different as an interior defensive lineman. We'll see. I was reading a bunch of lists today about top coaches and stuff. And again, this is what's so great about the NFL compared to college football. You want the best coaches in college football? Just look at the top ranked teams. And that's who the numbskulls pick. Right? Kurt Signotti was not on any of these lists a year ago. Now, all of a sudden, he's won. 2 years ago, you win 19 straight. Mike Norvell was top 5. Nowhere near. So what makes the NFL, to me, so much more appealing is I saw a list. Sean McVay is there. He's number 1. Right? I mean, shouldn't you put the Super Bowl winning coach as number 1? That's what they do in college football. That's what they always do in college football, not the NFL. A lot of these lists are bizarre. As a matter of fact, I have this question. Let's see. 8674 says, hey, Rick, I don't live and die by power rankings, but can you explain how it's possible if the Jaguars only have one player in the top 100? Liam Cohen is only ranked as the 15th best coach, won 13 games. If it wasn't the coach and it wasn't the players, who gets the credit for the wins? I think it's the fans. I think it's you, Duval. People don't want to come in here. They catch a big break this year with only 6 games. Yeah, it really is. It's so hard to explain. Okay? But it's a very productive football team. And they improved in so many categories, but there's still major room for an improvement. And I think they're going to improve in a lot of these areas. And, they're still going to lose more games than they did a year ago. I firmly believe that because it's a far more difficult schedule. And you're only playing 6 games at home. You got to go out on the road and play 11 contests. So that is going to be a factor in all of this. But we're at the point now where players are getting better. How much better are they going to get? I saw a couple of different lists that came out today that I copied. One is from Travis Holmes here of Big Cat Country. Left tackle. Jaguars, Cole Van Lanen, 17th best in the league. Walker Little, 32nd best in the league. Starting left guard, Ezra Cleveland, 29th best in the league. Starting center, Robert Hainsey, 28th. Jonah Monheim, 31st. Starting right guard, Patrick McCarry, 27th. Starting right tackle, Anton Harrison, 15th. All right, maybe Harrison makes that move to left tackle. It appears it's going to happen. He needs to become a top 10 tackle. He really does. His 5th-year option's been picked up, and they're going to try to re-sign him and make him a part of the future, protect the blind side of Trevor Lawrence. He needs to become a top 5 tackle in the NFL. Can he? The Bleacher Report comes out with wide receivers today. Okay? Jacoby Myers, 29th. Brian Thomas Jr., 35th. Parker Washington, 53. That is criminal. Okay? Whoever wrote that, you can really make the case that they should be arrested. 53. The 53rd best wide receiver in the NFL is Parker Washington. And then at 57 is Travis Hunter. Again, it's more than a lack of respect. It's a flat-out lack of knowledge for this football team. But guys have to get better. Now, on this list, outside of Jacoby Myers, who, I think is at a point right now where he's as good as he's going to get. Can he maintain? Or will his skills begin to diminish just a little bit? Will he lose a step? He's proven what he can do. Brian Thomas Jr., man, can take this thing as far as he wants. And every indication during camp is that is exactly where he's going. Parker Washington is finally about to receive the recognition that he has earned. And again, him and Bashal Tutin have been the two best players on this offense, and Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't been far behind. Travis Hunter, we know that's defense, but Travis Hunter could be one of the top corners in the league. I interviewed Brenton Strange yesterday, and we talked about it. Brenton Strange is starting to get a little bit of love now. He's entering categories where he could be a top 10 tight end in this league, right? What if Bashal Tutin just knocks it out of the park? I can't believe how many people have formed an opinion on Bashal Tutin because he averaged 3.7 yards a carry. How many of those carries were in the red zone? How many of those carries were short yardage situation where everyone in the stadium, everyone watching on TV knew it was going to be a rushing play? How many of those carries came late in the third and fourth quarter when the Jaguars had a sizable lead and they were taking clock? They were running the ball so it would go tick, 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 tick. And again, everyone knew they were going to run it. And Tutin got bottled up. I think his average and again, I'm one of those guys who believes that if you give him to him 4, 5, 6 times a game, I don't think you're going to reap the benefits here. I think you got to continue to feed him. This is a teen guy. Getting to the teens with carries. Phenomenal hands. Both him and LaQuinn Allen Jr. Great hands. I think the more he gets, the better off he is going to be. And, the Buffalo game was scary. But that's where Jacksonville is. So, yeah, they're not getting the rankings. You had him, 7th on one list for play callers, which is a respectable number considering he's only coached 1 year in the league.
The fun part about that was that same group had listed him as outside the top 10 as just a head coach. So he's receiving Coach of the Year votes. He's one of the best play callers. And no, not top 10, though.
Did Diana Rossini have any votes? Did we know? Was she involved in any of this? Ballou, you can't go a show without you're infatuated by her. Not really. I'm infatuated by what she's done. All right. Where do I want to go with this? 6084. Ballou. Tommy Mack seems to think Milam has been the best offensive lineman in camp so far. Love to see him unseat Macari. Bringing some big and nasty, always a good thing. He struggled mightily on Monday. Okay. Actually, with today's Wednesday, he struggled mightily on Monday. He really got blown up on all 4 of his one-on-one reps. Okay, it was right in front of us. I wrote it down. Let me take you back to Monday's practice. Eric Armstead, right through him. Luke Orororo went right through him. You had a quick twitch move by Trayvon Walker. So, it wasn't a great day for Wyatt Milam. I've talked about how the body looks like it's really improved in 1 year, and he does have a mean streak. There's no question that he is the heir apparent. And I think it's going to happen this year. I just don't see it happening September 13th. That make any sense? I mean, this thing remains very, very, very fluid. Okay? I almost feel as though I can project next year's offensive line easier than this year's offensive line. I think in a year, it's Anton Harrison at left tackle, Pregnon at left guard, Jonah Monheim at center, Wyatt Milam at right guard, and Cole Van Lanen at right tackle. So I honestly think I have a better shot of naming next year's offensive line than I do this year's offensive line. I've blown out the interior. For next year's team, as their Cleveland's a free agent, I don't see him coming back. Patrick McCarry, end of his contract, dead money, who cares? I think it's over. Same deal with Robert Hainsey. So we'll see. But yeah, he's going to get an opportunity. There's no doubt. But I still think on opening day, that is going to be the case with McCarry. All right, much more to do. Good to have you with us. Let's continue with your questions. 641-1010 text line. Also, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube, just go to 1010XL into the night.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Believe it or not, back to school is just around the corner. Before the schedules fill up, the lunches get packed, and life gets hectic again, take care of one thing you've been putting off: your home's plumbing. That dripping faucet, slow drain, or running toilet isn't going to fix itself. Schedule any plumbing service with Duck Rooter this month, and we'll include a free water heater inspection at no additional charge. Cross one more thing off your back-to-school checklist. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, Duval fans, Jeff Lageman here. To win on game day, our team needs a flawless playbook and elite execution, and your vehicle is no different. From routine maintenance and brakes to engine and transmission work, team up with one of 30 local Jacksonville Napa Auto Care Centers. Most repairs are backed by a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide peace of mind warranty.
Score big. Drive into Auto Boutique on Beach Boulevard or Allstate Auto on West Beaver Street today.
Want to be the host everyone talks about this football season? Invite friends, clients, family, or employees to River City Railway. Private rail cars with everything you need. AC, TVs, private bathrooms, parking, and an unforgettable atmosphere just steps from the stadium. Own the season with a full season rail car, or reserve one for the biggest Jag game of the year. Food and open bar included. Don't just tailgate, railgate. Reserve today at rivercityrailway.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Nikki Sema. My dad started in business when I was just 4 years old, and now we're 35 years and 20,000 satisfied customers in, and literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you're looking to revitalize your home with new flooring or need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites and don't forget to stop by our showrooms during our open house and cookout this Saturday from 10 to 3. Come see affordable luxury, experience a lifetime difference, and receive additional open house discounts.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, whether you're ready or not, you have football tomorrow night. That is correct. Canton, Ohio, be Carolina and Arizona. Game number one, then don't look back because in a week it all gets underway, including the Jaguars. I believe they go Saturday, Friday. A week from Saturday in New Orleans, and then they'll host both Carolina in Tampa Bay. They'll practice once against the Saints and the Panthers, and then twice against the Buccaneers. They're back at it tomorrow after an off day today. They'll work for 4 straight days now, Thursday through Sunday. Reportedly, Friday is going to be some sort of a scrimmage or game-like situations. So I would think serious thud, no tackling. That's just the way today's NFL is, and it makes sense. Look at the injuries all across the league. I mean, it is just absolutely scary. How about Tampa? How about out in Atlanta? The kid out of Georgia, Walker, he's gone now for the entire season, man. He tore an ACL. So that ended up happening today. You know, they're already trying to figure out what they're going to do with quarterback. Michael Penix, as we know, has been injured. They got 2 of there. They got 2 left-handed quarterbacks. But Walker, Jalen Walker, 15th pick in the draft a year ago. He had 5.5 sacks. Is gone for the year. So we've seen that happen quite a bit with some starting defensive players throughout the NFL. All right, do I want to do this type of stuff? Do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? Probably not. Here's this because it's changing the subject matter. This is from Michael Robinson. Okay. Maybe it's just Michael. It's spelled, yeah, I think it is. Mykal. That's Michael, right? Or is it Michael?
I think it's Michael.
Okay. All right. Love the way. Love the spelling. You know, it's got a little zen. You know, I think you're going to appreciate that spelling. James Gladstone. I bet he could appreciate that. Says Ballou, hey, Rick, my buddy shortened Orororo's name to Row 3. Easier to pronounce when you're excited after a play when he clobbers the opposing team's quarterback. You know, I'd stop printing shirts right now. Row 3. Don't even wait for him to make a play. All right? See the future. Be the future. Remember years ago, I made a big deal about printing shirts, the Great Wall of Duval, and they proceeded to lead the league in allowed sacks. Not funny. It's not. It's what I want. I want an offensive line. I really do. I mean, you can say whatever you want about that offensive line, man, but when you bring in a backup like Robert Hainsey and he rolls in and is automatically announced as a captain, oh boy. Oh boy. And I know what happened on defense too with Jordan Lewis, but to me there's a difference. There truly is between an offensive line group and any other position group on the football field. To me, your identity as a team is with your offensive line. It was here in the 90s. You can Jimmy Smith me all you want. You can Keenan McCardell me all you want. Pete Mitchell me, Mark Brunell me. You can bring up, you know, Tony Brackens. You can talk about all the great players. My buddy Aaron Beasley. You can go one after another. It was the offensive line. That was the stability. That was the identity of the football team. And when's the last time you could say that about an offensive line here in town? Maybe not since then. And they've tried. They've spent a ton of money in free agency. They've drafted high continuously. It hasn't worked. It is so hard to find great offensive linemen. I think it's the weakest position in sports. I really do. You can really make a case for coverage linebackers, right? Linebackers just can't coverage. They can't cover skill position guys anymore. That's what is making this Branson Combs situation so incredibly intriguing. It's why more teams are not only in nickel, but in dime. Because linebackers are basically now, you know, very good against the run, a serious Achilles heel against the pass. But to me, that is it, the offensive lineman. There's not like you look around the league and say, there's an offensive line that's unbreakable. Look at what Houston did. You know, all the talk about signing the ends and bringing in Clowney and making a trade, bringing in a running back. They addressed the offensive line. They made 3 changes on that offensive line. Go back to Cincinnati after making the Super Bowl and all those sacks to Joe Burrow. What did they immediately do? Address the offensive line. Jacksonville's trying. The good news is every guy who took a snap a year ago on offense is back on that offensive line. Okay? Let me see this one. Do I need to take one more break or 2 more breaks? Where am I at here? Okay. It's tough. It's tough to keep this in order for me. You know, they were 20th when it came to rushing the football a year ago. 115.1 yards a game. That's not enough for me. That's going to increase 15, 20 yards a game. That's a lot. I mean, they early on, remember early on, like the first 3-4 weeks, they were number 1. And, you know, I often say when you look at the rush defense, they're number 1, but a lot of that was because Jacksonville built big leads. Your opponents were forced to pass the football. So if you look at Jacksonville's pass defense, it wasn't nearly as effective as their rush defense. They were number 1 against the run. They were number 19 against the pass. But again, a lot of teams, you know, you could be on your heels a little bit, give up what was in front of you. There's all different ways to look at it. Obviously, you're aware of the takeaway deal with 31. But on the flip side of that, Jacksonville had leads. We just talked about a lot of these leads, and Bashal Tutin get the ball and short yardage and whatever the situation is. When you're winning the way that Jacksonville did, 8 straight, 9 of 10, you should be better than 20 out of 32 teams when it comes to rushing the football, especially with a quarterback who can run. 337 total yards, 11th in the NFL, 20th rushing, 11th passing. Love to see that. Yeah, someone sent me a deal the other day about Trevor and 4,500 yards passing. And I don't remember where this was, if it was on Twitter or something on social media. And my response was, if Trevor Lawrence throws for 4,500 yards, I think Jacksonville's losing a lot of games. And he's coming from behind, and he's trying to get them back into it, and he's forced to pass. I mean, they kept him on the field last year to get that incentive. He went just over 4,000 yards. But to me, the key statistic is 563 passing attempts for the Jaguars last year with a 13-4 record, and 489 carries. All right, so that's 11, that's 63. I mean, only a difference of 74 compared to what this football team used to be like. As I head to this break, let's just look at 2024, just to put an end to this conversation, because running the football is so important for so many reasons. Okay, number 1, you take the clock. Number 2, you rest your defense. Number 3, you talk to any offensive line. It doesn't matter who they are, what the situation is. They're going to tell you they love run blocking so much more than pass protection. The year prior to that, 546 attempts in the air, 414 on the ground. So that's what? 132 2 years ago. They basically cut that in half in just 1 year. And I think you're going to see it get even closer to a 50-50 ratio with this year's team.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom, who got rear-ended last year. Tom McManus here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial pound law or check out forthepeople.com.
Jacksonville, save big today at Green Acres Sporting Goods. Right now, get a semi-automatic AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $2.99. Green Acres also stocks the top brands of suppressors. For nearly 60 years, Green Acres has been Jacksonville's trusted source for firearms and outdoor gear, providing expert service you can count on. Shop Green Acres today at greenacresporting.com.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
ET here for Encore Research, and this summer, discover the power of research. Clinical studies are helping researchers find better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. And community members like you make it all possible. Your participation could help drive the next generation of healthcare discoveries. Find out how you can make a difference at EncoreDocs.com. Research moves forward because of volunteers like you. Let's build a healthier Jacksonville together.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make sure your property is ready. Weak, damaged, or overgrown trees can become a serious hazard when storms move in. Trust the experts at Lucas Tree Service with over 45 years of experience for professional tree trimming, removal, and storm preparation. Don't wait until a storm is on its way. Schedule your tree assessment today at lucastreeservice.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Hey, Jason. I'm glad your technician could come look at my air conditioner on Monday. You guys were crazy busy.
Mondays are always crazy. What happened?
Oh, stupid AC started making a funny noise Friday night, so I had to put up with it all weekend before I could call you Monday morning.
Why didn't you call on Saturday or Sunday?
What? And leave a message for who knows when?
We answer the phone all weekend, and we can have a crew dispatched right away.
You can?
We have expert crews on call all weekend long. And if they're on call, they'd actually like to work.
You mean I could have called on Friday and had it fixed on Saturday?
Or called on Sunday and had it fixed on Sunday.
For the same price as always?
Same as Monday to Friday. We have the same world-class service at the same prices 7 days a week.
Really?
If you call on the weekend, your problem gets fixed on the weekend.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I think I'll go home and listen to Bono talk some politics. Then listen to Bruce. Then listen to Neil Young. Oh, I'm just kidding. I love when people get so upset about their actors and musicians. I could care less what they think politically. I just don't care. I like them for who they are, the movies they make and the music that they perform. 6218, Rick, have you formed an opinion on Anton moving the left tackle yet? Oh, I have. And I love it. And it's something I frankly talked about all offseason. Okay? 22 of his 23 starts were at Oklahoma at left tackle. this organization put him at right tackle. And I think they're putting their best offensive lineman in place. He's got 2 years remaining with a fifth-year team option only that got picked up. And who knows? He could be there for another 5, 6, 7 years. One more before we bring in Hacker Nation. 87.99. Besides Hines, Allen, and Walker, who do you think will have the most sacks this year? I got to go to Eric Armstead, man. He had 5.5 before the injury. Really did some nice things, and he was a completely different football player, after he went down last year. There's no question about that. And, I thought on Monday, I thought he looked really, really good on Monday with what he was able to do when it came to getting to the quarterback. And it looked like he had a ferocious day, some battles, including one where he really had his way as well with Wyatt Milam.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Number 3 in sacks. Armstead, Gardeck, Green the second. Where are you going?
Yeah, I think probably one of those guys. I like your Armstead thought there. Gardeck, BJ Green's been outstanding. I'll give you a guy that I'm kind of high on, more so now than maybe I was a week ago, and that's Arroyo.
Okay.
I really do. Like, once the pads have come on the last couple of days, he's been noticeable. Now, I was warned by people in Atlanta. They said, you will notice him in practice. And it has not translated to the games. At least it did not up there. So I'm going to temper my expectations a little bit. But I always like to give the guy the benefit of the doubt with a fresh start. And Arroyo was a mid-second round pick in 2024, right? I mean, he's a young guy that was thought to be a top 50 player only 2 years ago. So I'm very curious to see what he could do in the interior of that D-line.
Trying to date things here, trying to think if you were in high school or if you were already making your way in the media. But do you remember Every Day But Sunday, Jimmy Kennedy out of Penn State?
Got drafted by the Rams.
Top draft pick.
Yeah.
Actually came here for a cup of coffee.
Yes, he did. Number 73.
And he was a practice warrior.
Yeah.
He was a guy that no matter where you went, and he looked great in the airport, right? He was a phenomenal practice player. But at 1 o'clock on Sunday, he was on a milk carton.
I'll tell you another guy, different position. Was with the Viking. Troy Williamson.
Oh, yeah.
Same type deal. When
South Carolina, maybe?
Yeah, when he came here during training camp, we used to come on, Troy Williamson, just see him, and then just nothing materialized during the games. Some guys are practice guys. That apparently was what Arroyo was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Hopefully can translate to game days here in Jacksonville.
All right, off day. So what do you have planned coming up in just a few?
Yeah, for people that have not heard my conversations with both Caleb Ransaw and Nate Borkacher, we're going to replay both of those this evening. Scheduled to talk with Josh Cameron tomorrow. Looking forward to that conversation. The rookie out of Baylor. I think he and C.J. Williams have had very nice starts to camp, so I'm excited about getting back out there tomorrow. But as far as tonight goes, Ransaw and Borkacher, also D-Rock, Mike DiRocco, ESPN.com will join me. We'll talk with Travis Holmes of Big Cat Country as well. So a ton of Jaguars, but the Gators were on the field today.
Ooh.
Florida State was on the field today. Georgia and Miami also reported. We're going to mix in a little college ball tonight as well.
Man, I want to get to it. I just don't have time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. I kind of...
I mean, we're 24 days away from Florida State walking out of that tunnel at Doak Campbell Stadium.
I mean, the feeling there is electrifying. Is that actually a Saturday game?
Yeah,
or is it a Friday?
7 o'clock on the CW against New Mexico State.
Man, I subscribe to like 40 different streaming services. I don't know if one of them passes CW. I'm gonna have to knock on someone's door. I think when it's all said and done. All right, Hack, have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
We'll see you out there tomorrow again. We're back, and we have 4 straight days beginning in the morning. All right, Thursday again, Friday. I don't know technically what they're calling it yet. I'll certainly know tomorrow, and I'll tweet it out. But I think it's a in-game like scenario or a glorified scrimmage or whatever it is they're going to do. It's obviously, I think, going to involve some situational football, right? They're just not going to say 11 on 11 and and have at it with no tackling. I think there's going to be, obvious red zone work. I think there's going to be probably some goal line work and some things. That would be my guess. But I do not know that for sure. I'll talk with Jarian Jones tomorrow, speaking of Florida State. He's at it. He always has a great training camp, and he's having one so far this year. That is absolutely the case. All right, that's going to do it. Some great stuff from you, as always, the listeners. Always appreciate it. Getting a hold of us on YouTube, Twitter, and the text line. Do want to thank John Osher as well. Jared Justice is our producer. My name is Rick Ballou. Have a great Wednesday night. We will talk on Thursday at 6 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.